Take the gag away.
You sure about that?
We have to listen to him.
It'll be a torment.
Outrage! Outrageous assault by my father's scrounging whore.
His housekeeper, companion and friend.
Liar. And you?
I'll untie your hands now, Robert.
Calvert. Bella Calvert. And this here.
Brazen outlaw. Would you murder a laird?
Just stand still.
No great skill with it.
Footpad.
A man tried to teach me once.
Kidnapper.
Empty bottles and crows. I could never hit one.
Chains and the lash for you.
Oh, but how can I miss you entirely? Say somewhere near the top of the leg, left or right, no matter.
Bella.
That'll put you down.
Monstrous woman.
And then I borrowed the other pistol from Miss Logan.
Bella.
A step up closer still, through the ankle.
That's
maybe.
enough now, Bella.
You'll never walk right again. Maybe even have to be carried to the gallows.
Women. Their feet go down to death.
Their steps take hold on hell. Book of Proverbs.
And your mouth is smoother than oil, but your end is bitter as wormwood.
Aye, and you're a fine wheeler to talk about the road to hell. I saw you kill your brother, and I'll see you hang.
You were there?
2 stabs of your sword, both in the back.
If you were there...
We'll leave you a while now, Robert.
That night!
Let you sit and think on
The
things.
other!
What other?
Bella.
The other!
No other. Your brother and his killer, you.
His voice!
Let's go through now, Bella.
His commanding words! Be thou the sword of the king!
I hope that's a stout enough door.
It is. Cut them down like wheat before the...
And a sturdy lock. I knew he was mad.
Wrong.
But this...
No window in there. No escape. The kitchen.
Foolishness of woman!
Let's catch our breath.
He will have you! The other will have you!
Why are we here?
You can hardly expect to find me at Dalcastle House. Not now Robert Colwan is the laird.
That's not what I mean.
And I'm content enough. It's a snug wee cottage. Tend the garden. I read.
I can see that. Every room's like a library, even your kitchen.
And I write. Poems. Songs.
Songs?
I was working on one the day you came looking for me. Let me think now. Don't ask me to sing it. How does it end? Then here's for trouble, and here's for smart, and here's for the pang that seeks the heart, and here's for madness, and here's for thrall, and here's for conscience, the worst of all. Call it the witch's song.
Miss Logan, again.
Arabella!
Why are we here? Why are we not on the road to Edinburgh to deliver Robert Colwan to the police, to the law, to the gallows?
Arabella, please. Call me Arabella. We've known each other a long time. Friends since we were girls.
Aye, well.
I loved those summers at my uncle's farm. The cattle and the sheep, the fields, the hills, and you as my friend.
As near as can be, I suppose. When you were on holiday and I was your uncle's slavey. And you've seen little of me since those days.
You've always been a wandering soul.
Aye, always at the heel of men.
In the need of love.
Love? Maybe that fairy tale went flitting through my mind at times, but and the need was for peace, safety. Not just to say money, but just to say men.
It's no fairy tale, Bella. I found it with George Colwan, Laird of Dalcastle.
Who died in grief at the murder of his son, and through there we have the killer. So can you answer my question? Why are we here and not on the road to Edinburgh?
It was me who washed the body. His father sat in a corner, bowing and rocking and moaning like a madman, while I sponged the blood from his son's body. And it's true, just like you said, 2 wounds in the back. And I had no doubt from that very night, no doubt at all, his brother did this.
Then let's see that he hangs for it.
But there's more to the story. I was also sure that same night his mother, Rabina Colwan, not an intelligent woman and loveless, and her spiritual advisor, the Reverend Ringham, he is clever and Puritan and bitter and angry. They, both of them, they were part of this. Even with you as a witness, Bella, will the whole story come out in a court?
But does that matter if the killer hangs?
A week after his son was killed, the old laird died of grief. Less than a month after the funeral, who was back in the wealth and comfort of Dalcastle House? The widow, Rabina Colwan, her younger son Robert, and Reverend Ringham, spiritual advisor to one, legal guardian to the other, all three in wealth and comfort.
And you're sent away to your snug wee cottage.
Happy to be away. Away from such people. Bella, I want to hear him say it. All of it. Give me one night here. I want to hear him confess.
Nothing to say, Colwan? That's a shocking change.
We know you killed your brother. But what about Maggie Semple? A young woman who worked on the estate. Her mother says after you inherited the title Laird of Dullcastle, you courted her.
From what I hear, that's too kindly a word.
Words like coarse and forceful have been used.
Brutal as a horny boy, I heard.
But you did promise to marry her, then denied any such offer was ever made. Do you still deny it? She disappeared 2 months ago. Last week her body was found in a hasty grave in Colwan Wood.
My God, why hast thou forsaken me?
That's blasphemy. No. The Jesus' words on the cross.
The first line of a psalm.
Why art thou so far from helping me?
Psalm 21.
I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not, and in the night. But I am a worm, despised of the people. Psalm 22. Let me go on my way.
Let you
I
go?
can do no harm. My hands, look, they have no harm in them. Let me go on walking until I am utterly gone.
I don't understand
I
you.
am incomprehensible to myself.
Go on walking. You slept in a barn not far from here 2 nights ago.
Was that only 2 nights ago?
It was the farmer who told me what road you were on.
And he told us how glad he was to see the back of you. Said you had the smell of sulphur about you.
I'm no devil. I'm a man.
A laird, trudging the roads like a tramp.
I will sleep in ditches and hedges. I will take the by roads, the cattle tracks, fields and hills and moorland. Avoid the people.
On your way to where?
Ah, well, the plan was I might go to Oxford. I would expound the great truth of predestination, free will. Those empty words, this is Calvin himself, are a philosophy that must be expelled from the Christian mind. My pamphlets would sell by the 1,000. That was the dream.
And your mother?
My mother?
She hasn't been seen for over a week.
Disappeared a day or two before you left Dullcastle.
Was she too on the road south? On a different road? Were you and she to meet in Oxford?
My mother. She knew nothing of my dreams. She never did.
Why is he so meek now? Subdued?
I'm gay subdued myself.
Sleepy?
Oh, very. What time is it?
Time for tea, hot and strong. What happened to all his energy and anger? Oh, you'll find the teapot on that shelf above you.
He's a pretender, a liar.
But that despair in his voice.
Ah, well, they say the devil has his sorrows.
No. No devil. Only a man. I do believe him on that.
There's something in here.
Used it just yesterday, did I not?
Teeth. It's teeth.
What? Human teeth?
No, they're from a dog or a fox, maybe.
But that's... How can that... Surely not. After all these years.
What?
Sit down, Bella. Can you explain this? When I was a girl, I used to walk in my sleep. And I used to move things around, put them in odd places without knowing I was doing it. My mother came into the kitchen one morning and found all the chairs on top of the table. Another time, a pot of soup. I'd ladled it all into cups and glasses and porridge bowls and left them all over the house. The thrashing I got for that one.
Your father?
Yes, father.
I never knew the man.
No, I don't think I did either. We baffled each other. And the thrashings.
What?
They were never... I mean, he didn't just grab and slap me. A time was set, always in his study. I'd lie across his knees, no cane or strap, just his bare hand and my bare bottom. Oh, there was something odd, wrong. His breathing, oh dear, I don't have the words.
That's all right. Leave it be.
And then he shoved me off away like I was some little devil or I was burning hot.
Aye, I can imagine.
Oh. I'm walking in my sleep at my age.
Ah, well, maybe it's an explanation of a gay strange one, but how do you explain?
What?
On your wander, in your sleep, where did you find 2, 3, 4, 13 fox teeth?
I know what you want. You even demand it at gunpoint. You want confession.
You're much revived.
I am. I have cast away melancholy. My guide and mentor reminded me, despair is the work of Satan.
Your mentor, Reverend Ringham.
No, the other. So, I hereby confess...
This other you speak of?
I have been a great sinner. Never with women, never. I abhor you all as the greatest of snares. But other sins, well, I have nurtured greed in me like poisonous fruit. I have coveted all manner of things. Coaches, hunting dogs, a sword with a finely engraved silver hilt, a neighbour boy's toboggan.
Is that all?
My most grievous sin has been the bearing of false witness. I have been a liar, often and with pride. Another sin. A fellow schoolboy, not only did my lies bring him several beatings, but his final expulsion. That he was a vulgar and arrogant bully, no excuse.
These are sins indeed, Robert.
Common enough and small.
What about drunkenness?
Intemperance. A pathetic sin.
Yet when you became laird, with all that money, all that freedom, you drank. You drank a great deal.
Like a demented sailor.
Days, weeks were lost to drunkenness or sleep. You'd no time for the working of the estate. Your steward, Willie Brailsford, he says when he did try to talk about business, you'd no memory of his asking about such things before. In fact, Willie told me he was sure you had no idea who he was. The family lawyer, Mr. Lincoln, you signed papers for him. Later you denied all knowledge of what you'd agreed to. You said the signatures must be forgeries.
Getting drunk, wanting a fancy sword. Christ, man, you killed your brother and that lassie, Maggie Semple.
You are accused of murder. Nothing small or common or pathetic. Murder. Robert.
That toboggan. Dark wood, long, sleek and fast.
Oh, back to the sledge.
It went downhill fast as a cavalry charge, shiny black against the snow. That vulgar, ignorant boy, its rider, braying and laughing like a mad warrior.
For pity's sake.
His father had made it for him. His bonny, unbeatable, worthy beast, he called it. Then I'd watch him lead it home on its rope like a horse to its stable.
How much more of this?
No such thing for me, of course. My mother talked about my delicacy, about broken bones and missing teeth, but I've no doubt she followed Reverend Righam's teaching. Such play was demeaning to one being raised as I was, strictly in the hope of being sanctified.
And you are a sanctified man? The Reverend Ringham convinced you of this?
He helped to lead me through study and prayer. So much prayer. Hours and days and years of it. To lead me to the revelation.
That you are of the elect, as they say. I know a little, Calvin. God preordained some of the human race without any merit of their own to eternal salvation. Have I got that right? There are those who claim sanctified men are beyond the law.
God's law. Thou shalt not kill.
The word of God, yes, thou shalt not... Thou shalt not
Kill.
Suffer. Thou shalt not suffer. Suffer a witch. Thou shalt not suffer.
Are you...
Suffer a witch to live. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. And what of Joshua? We're told he utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, young and old, so the Lord was with Joshua. God delights in the death of enemies.
God is merciful.
To idolaters, blasphemers, to the enemies of the true church. The word of God, when God shall bring thee into the land to possess it, many nations before thee, the Hittites, smite them, destroy them, the Amorites, the Canaanites, smite them, destroy them, the Hivites, the Jebusites, smite them, utterly destroy them, show no mercy, thine eye shall have no pity upon them, for the Lord has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. If a prophet arise among you saying, let us go after other gods,
Robert!
That prophet shall be put to death.
Arabella. Robert, how do you...
Hearken to the voice of the Lord. Do that which is right in the eyes of God.
Arabella, I have to get out.
The word of God, edited and paraphrased in all good faith. From the book of Deuteronomy,
Yes, outside.
chapter 7
The garden.
and 13.
Who in the name of God was that?
Robert Colwan.
And someone else, another voice.
It was Robert Colwan.
And someone inside him like a demon.
No, I'm sure we won't be trying an exorcism.
They happen in the Bible. The one who lived in the graveyard.
Such a strange story, that when Jesus asked him his name, my name is Legion, for we are many.
Why are you... How can you be so calm? After what we've just seen, heard.
I know he's killed. I know he's a twisted soul, but I won't be afraid of him.
You won't show it. All right, he's only a man, no devil. But I'm listening to one man, and then I'm hearing two, each as mad as the other. And men can do devilish things, hellish. I know that in my bones. There are things...
Bella?
Things I've never told anyone. Not you, not anyone.
We all have secrets, Bella. And I know since you left my uncle's farm...
Your uncle? What takes you way back there?
I don't know,
I didn't leave your uncle's place. I was sent. You know that.
It was never said, not really.
I never asked. Right, well, I was put on the road, and I've been there ever since. Now, back to where we are. The night that one killed his brother, what, 8 months ago? 9 months. And I turned up at your door just last week. Another thing you never asked. Where have I been all that time?
You told me you'd been ill.
Aye. Well, so I was. Ill with a drink. Ill with a lack of drink. We're playing hunger, penniless most of the time. Like that villain in there, I've slept in a barn more than once. And then, later on when I was truly ill, collapsed, fever, vomit and diarrhoea, an old man took me in. He was a minister, or he'd been a minister, still wore the clothes for it. But now he was like something between a tink and a hermit. Lived in a caravan. This was up near Aberfeldy. He fed me. Porridge broth. Spooned them into me. And he washed me. All over like I was a wee lassie. Never asked for a thing. He was like the Samaritan. He saved my life.
Thank God for good men.
His name was Malcolm. There were times, weeks on end, when I never gave a thought to Robert Colwan or his dead brother. But sometimes I did. And I'd think, who'd believe me? Who'd believe the likes of me? And then I thought of you.
And I believed you.
Well, you'll have to believe this and all. The night I saw Colwan kill his brother, I was in a room on the 3rd floor of a tenement with a man with money. He'd fed me well and bought me wine. Thank God for bad men, eh? I was drunk.
But you did see...
Aye, I saw fine. I was at the window. I was leaning on the sill. The man was behind me. He was taking his pleasure of me.
Oh,
my eyes were closed, and then I opened them. The cobbles were all agleam, wet, and there was a moon And I saw Robert Colwan kill his brother, details clear as moonlight.
Then, yes, that's good.
Good?
The details. If we lay them out to him, show him how much we know.
No, enough. I won't be in that room with him again.
Please, listen. One thing I've always respected in you. Your strength.
I'm not strong enough for this. I was on the 3rd floor of a tenement across the street from the killing.
Would the witness please speak with more volume and clarity? Volume and clarity, please.
I was in a tenement room across the street.
A 3rd floor room, rather high and far.
Close enough. You were standing at the mouth of an alley as if you'd just come out of there. Your brother had his back to me. You had a sword in your hand. It seemed as if you were trying to goad him into a fight.
As if it seemed.
And then your brother turned his back on you, began to walk away, and then you struck.
That would be the blow under his left arm. I saw the wound. I washed it.
He stood straight. Shocked, I suppose.
The witness should refrain from supposition. Suppose, as if, seemed. This is not acceptable language. You may address me as my lord.
And then you, my bloody lord, struck again.
A deep wound between his shoulders. I washed that as well, the one that killed him. There's more we can tell. For months you'd been haunting your brother.
There's a hostile witness to that. You were a pest and a scold.
A preaching gadfly.
It was my duty to sting and bite. He was in sore need of a preacher. And his followers, that rabble of corrupted disciples.
Your brother tried to be patient. He offered you his hand, a brother's love.
The only true love, all I value and need, is my own love of God, of God's truth.
And that brother's hand gave you a blistering punch in the mouth.
You went straight home, yes, unwashed. Straight home to the manse, to Reverend Ringham, to your proud mother.
Proud? Yes. So proud of you, Robert. You wear that blood like stigmata. But you really should wash now, and do make sure your hands are thoroughly clean before you use a towel. Oh, dear. Dear, this is not easy. This is a difficult one. That voice.
Whose name is this?
Listen to me. That brother of yours, I knew. I knew from the start when they offered him to me, all red and wriggly and screaming. I knew he would grow into something degenerate. No surprise, consider from whence he came. From the blood and slime and filth of female entrails. He was raised by a father who was little better than a pagan. He would not pray with me. It's not just the voice and the vacancy and the femaleness that make this so difficult. Well, yes, that's all there is. Still, on we must go. And you were saved from that pigsty by me and by Reverend Ringham, that saintly man who led you to sanctification. But now we hear of a new guide and mentor. We approach crisis, revelation. Someone new and other and strange. A new friend who has altered your ways, your manner, your very look. The Reverend worries the devil himself has been busy in you. We have decided you should be confined to your room to fast and pray until you are ready to denounce and renounce this other and name him. Give us his name. Relief! I must have relief.
Relief? What relief do you mean, Robert?
Urination. Do I have to raise my hand as to Mummy and say, please may I go? Defecation. I must use your privy.
Mere demented by the minute. And how much longer? It's summertime, the nights are supposed to be short.
He telleth the number of the stars and calleth them all by their names.
One night, you said. Give me one night. So, first glimmer of sun and we leave. Arabella? First light and we tie that maniac up and we...
Guns, nightmare. Where do I wash my hands?
Just there, the stream.
And soap?
There's gravelly sand by the water. Coat your hands with it, then rinse them.
Barbaric.
No Dalcastle luxury here, Robert.
I have no need for luxury, but cleanliness, surely. And this is most effective. The necessities and invention of the common folk. But you, Miss Logan, the former chatelaine of Dalcastle House, are doing duty to keep watch outside the privy.
I've taken the chance to look up at the stars.
Ah, yes. Such beauty. A wondrous manifestation of God's majesty.
It's more than their beauty that's wondrous.
Oh, what then?
We can map them. We can predict how they'll move. There are some lines, I might not get this exactly right. There are words like degrees of declination, respective distances, alignment.
Astronomy?
And then this, something like this. The agility of the human mind, which enables us to survey heaven with the help of the imagination. This ingenuity, this art, is certain proof of divinity in man. Calvin said that.
John Calvin. Calvin of Geneva. I will give you Calvin. We shall never be clothed in the righteousness of Christ until we accept that we have no righteousness of our own. Each of us lives and dies in dependence on...
A fox, it's only a fox.
Sly, bold Reynardine. His teeth did brightly shine. But Miss Logan, among your many books on science and philosophy and poetry, I've noticed there are quite a few about Scottish folklore and legend. Is there not in some of those stories a certain fox, a trickster who can change his shape?
Gilly Martin.
That's the sly old fellow. In one story he becomes a magical sword, an unsinkable boat, and a beautiful woman. With skills like that, a man could escape from anything.
Escape?
Of course, there are some among us who would rather be changed into a beetle or a moth.
Insects?
Despair.
No closer.
Be crushed by a hooligan's boot, or to flutter and expire in the flame of a candle.
Not one step closer, Colwan. That's right. Take a good look at me. I swear to Christ, I'm just a hair away from putting a bullet in your guts.
Reverend Ringham became your legal guardian when you were a child. He was your guide and mentor. But now you say, your mother said, there is a new guide, a new friend.
You are very calm, remarkably so.
Should I not be? Who is the new friend? Can you tell me how you met?
A sultry day. A country road. I walking alone, a milestone, and there he sat, reading the Bible. And then... paralysis.
Paralysis?
Yes. Stillness. Silence. Except for a lark high above us. No chance meeting, of course. Predestined. He had sought me out. Hunted me down. And there we were, he and I. No name. No need for names between two sanctified men like us. So closely bound together. We are so close. When my bones tremble, I know he feels it.
Closer than any brother.
Oh. Here he comes again. Oh, my swaggering heathen brother, Miss Logan. As you know, a court decided that my brother's killer was Thomas Drummond.
No evidence. Supposition only.
But convincing, logical. Drummond was as drunken and degenerate and hot-headed as my brother. On that very night they had quarrelled, a vicious quarrel. Next day, Drummond was gone, abroad, no doubt to his notorious Jacobite father in Italy.
And your father?
My father?
His death, too.
No one knows better than you. It was an act of God that stopped that wicked old heart.
Your father's heart was loving and generous. It was stopped by grief. You've shown no grief. Not for father nor for brother.
Grief? I carry not an ounce of that. They were heathens both.
And bound for hell. While you, a sanctified man, are predestined for heaven, no matter the condition of your heart and mind or any act of yours.
No, please, do not venture into theology. That is a difficult and complex discipline. Women should humbly accept instruction in such matters.
And where might a humble woman find instruction?
You would do well to consider St. Paul, his letter to the Romans. The law of the Spirit, of life in Christ, has made me free from the law of sin and death.
Here's for trouble, and here's for smart, and here's for the pang that seeks the heart. Here's for madness
and here's for thrall.
How did you get in here?
And here's for conscience, the worst of all.
How did you get out of that room?
Now don't upset yourself, Bella. Just take your seat.
Where's Arabella?
Where's the tea? And where is the teapot?
Arabella! Arabella!
No. You must stay here. You really must.
What the hell are you?
At the moment, your servant. You're slavey, is it? Please sit down. Take your ease while I serve you.
You're mad.
Do sit down.
Where's Arabella?
Sit!
If you've touched her...
Now! We need 2 clean cups. Have we such luxury? But what's this? Who has hidden what in the pot?
No, they're not in there.
Oh, but here they are. Now, I'm not hugely well versed in canine anatomy, but are these not the teeth of a fox?
She threw them out.
Yet here they are. The teeth of Gilly Martin, of bold Renardine. Not, I'm sorry to say, brightly shining. You are a liar and a hypocrite.
Devil!
A cheating, scrounging whore.
Justice will have you.
Justice! All you want is the saving of your own polluted soul. When did the pollution begin? On Miss Logan's uncle's farm? No. When you were that uncle's slavey. His rough as iron slavey, but pretty enough. How was timid Arabella? Such innocence. How could she know her friend was out among the fields and hills, out among the other beasts, making the beast with 2 backs, with her beloved uncle, the pair of you, bleating and mooing like the animals you were. How did he pay you? Add a penny or 2 to your weekly wage. A spoonful more porridge in the morning. Until his wife found out. Yes. She sent you on the road in search of peace and safety. No. In search of men and money. You sold yourself for beef and wine. You sold yourself for a bannock and a cup of milk. And that road, where did it lead? To a stinking room high above a city street. And here you are, bending at the window, offering your behind to yet another beast of a man. And from that high window, you think you see murder done.
I saw it.
You see and know the killer's face. And you wonder if I see that killer high
if I bring him to the gallows?
Will that help to cleanse my filthy soul? I'm afraid not, Bella. Leaving aside your long, sordid history. Predestination is truth.
No.
From before Genesis. And sorry to be so brutal. Before time began, you were damned to hell.
It was my grandmother taught me to mix a salve. It will cool the pain, I promise.
Colwan,
Locked up tight.
did he talk about me? Ask about me?
No.
I mean, me not being there with you.
He knew you were making tea. He talked about logic and theology and St. Paul about being free from the law of sin and death.
His breath is rotten with both.
There. You'll feel the benefit soon. How did you manage this?
I don't know. I was asleep or nearly, and then something gave me a fright. I must have jumped up, put my hand on the kettle, a clumsy idiot.
Gave you a fright?
A dream, I suppose.
A nightmare by the sound of you.
I suppose I don't remember.
At least it was your left hand.
True enough. I'll still be able to hold a gun and pull the trigger.
You know, before when you said you swore in the name of Christ and you pointed the gun at him, I really thought you might.
I will. I might yet. So best not leave me alone with him.
It's been said, Robert.
Oh, I know what they say. The ignorant, the superstitious. When he walks across a field, the grass burns under his feet.
It was Maggie Semple's mother said that.
What's also been said, nothing of superstition about it, about your mother and the Reverend Ringham.
Lies. Slander. John Barnett, an old servant of the Reverend. The rumour was, he said,
Said money's the time, Mr. Robert, that you resemble the Reverend. It's a resemblance no to be denied. I ha' never said, never the once, that he is in fact your natural fairer. As to what I think, no the Reverend and no yourself can hinder my thoughts. They come and they go at nobody's command. I have been beadle and serving man here 33 year, and now here you stand saying I'm close to having the keys of the kirk taken off me, and my service dismissed. Well, let me tell you, skinny wee bauco that you are, since ever that Reverend passed the door of this place, they keys ha' lain heavy in my pooch. So here they are, out my pooch and on the grin of your feet. And now old John Barnett might die a beggar at the back of a dyke, but his thoughts will I be his ain.
Robert, how on earth? Is it a skill you've worked?
Look at this! Look at this! All this ignorance and folly, human pride and unholy gibbering.
Calm down.
Fairy tales of the Highlands. Border stories and songs of dreams and apparitions.
Leave the books alone.
A life of Galileo.
Robert!
The life of Alexander. Lives of the poets of old. No single life of a single Christian martyr. The Odyssey, the Iliad, the Art of Love. You read Ovid. This obscenity.
It was a gift.
From my father.
Put it back on the shelf.
To the midden with it, or the fire.
Robert, stop this.
Where are the Psalms? Where is Deuteronomy? Where is St. Paul?
Look at me.
Is there no Bible in this damned house?
Look at me, Robert. Now, you see, I am resolute. So is Bella. There is, of course, a Bible. I will bring it to you, but first, you lift your chair and you sit down. Good. And maybe when you're calm, you could put my books back on the shelves.
Spectatum vinient spectentur et ipsae.
You have no Latin. It's Ovid. It might be translated, the women who come to see the play, they are the play.
Tea hot and strong, just what we need.
When you levelled your gun, you were straight as a soldier.
You raised yours too.
But I was getting near shaking.
My hands are a bit shaky now. But he said it himself. He's a skinny wee bauble. He's a weakling, always has been. There are two of us and we have guns.
Another voice. And the way he was raging, like he could say anything.
We want him to talk.
You do. Not me. Not anymore.
What do you mean?
I've had enough. He might be skinny, but we know what he can do. He killed his own brother.
Oh, a stab in the back.
And Maggie Semple was strangled. Arabella, if that man hasn't a demon in him, then he's an out-and-out lunatic. We should leave.
Not yet.
Yes, now. Put the gag back on him, tie him up and gag him. Tie him to his chair, lock the doors and start for Edinburgh. Send back officers.
The thought of walking to Edinburgh.
Oh, I'm used to walking. Been doing it half my life. All right. The rest first. No more than an hour. Surely to God it'll be light by then. You'll go and lie down.
And leave you alone with him?
Oh, no. I'll sit outside the locked door with a gun in each hand. On you go. I'll wake you in half an hour. If you manage to sleep at all.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No. I'm alive. Help me. I'm in here. I'm alive. Oh, God. Help me in the name of Christ. Jesus, God, help me. God, Christ, I'm alive. Arabella. Bella. Arabella. Bella.
Here she is. See? Now where are the keys? The keys now, or I swear to Christ I put a bullet in her brain.
I don't know. I don't know what you mean.
I mean her brains and blood will be on your hideous bedspread. Are those meant to be roses? I'm sure you didn't steal that from Dalcastle House.
I didn't steal anything.
Where are the keys?
To Dalcastle House.
To this hovel, front door and back, both locked and no keys, and your windows won't open. Why is that witchcraft?
Please don't.
I'd be happy not to. Think of the mess. And all you have to do is open one door. Then I'll be gone. And no harm done. I'll be gone into the night.
And I'll hear a fox bark far away.
Excellent notion. I'll be glad to make that happen for you. Now, where are the keys? No! Bitch!
Arabella, wake up.
You bit his hand.
What? Wake up, Arabella. We're locked in.
That's what he said.
You were dreaming. I found you moaning and trying to speak.
The keys.
They're gone. Front door and back and both locked.
Did you try a window?
Oh, for Christ's sake, Arabella, wake up. We're locked in this house with the devil.
Oh, yes. Sorry, right. The keys. Show me.
It wasn't there. Back door the same. I checked both twice, tried them both.
Try it again.
I swear to you, it was locked and there was no key. Arabella?
I thought I might
What?
hear a fox bark. He was there in my bedroom. He said he would disappear, no harm done, and the fox would bark.
It was a dream. Are you still listening for that bloody fox?
The keys are here, and it was here before. Maybe in between you were dreaming too. We're both very tired. This long night. I was in my coffin, alive. I've had that one before. More than once, often, far too many times. And then I woke up and he was there. Then you woke me up and... Maybe I'm still dreaming. Maybe you are too.
No. You slapped me.
Have you gone mad?
Maybe I have. Maybe you're mad as well. Maybe we're in a damned madhouse. But I know this. I'm real and awake and I'm here and I'm leaving. We tie him up, we lock him up, all 3 keys, and we go. Get help now. Right, this is over. This ends now. Arms behind the back of your chair.
Robert, why are you crying?
Does it matter?
I was thinking about my father. He was dancing. You, Miss Logan, you'll have seen him dance.
Often.
Arabella.
He was a delight to watch.
All that snapping of fingers and clapping of hands. How he'd shout and spin at every turn of a tune, his eyes a twinkle. His very toes seemed to twinkle.
But how can you remember that?
Arabella, don't.
He was unreformed and degenerate, but I do believe you were right. His heart was generous.
And loving. But when you and your mother left Alcastle, left your father, you were so young. Just a child.
No more, Arabella.
Bella,
No, we're leaving.
Of course, it's impossible. I remember my father at the dance. But here he is, dancing in my memory. My memory, yes. It's impaired, awry, fractured. Things I know well, they're gone. Things I have no knowledge of, like Ovid. Did I not quote Ovid? I've never read his work. Latin teaching was Caesar, Pliny, Cicero. Ovid was forbidden, incomprehensible. I am incomprehensible to myself. Myself. Escape.
Put your gun on him. Let me tie him up.
No, though, there's no need for that, Bella. Truly.
Truth from you.
I've much to tell, true things, and what I have to say will take courage. There is risk, danger.
Danger?
Not for you. Danger for me. My flesh, my spirit. My soul is sorrowful even unto death. My hour has come.
Jesus in Gethsemane.
Watch with me while I pray.
I'll listen nae more.
Spirit is willing,
I have to hear
but
this.
flesh is weak.
Please.
He's
The cup
ranted
will
it.
not
It's
pass away
lies.
from
That's
me.
all you'll hear.
You go through, you get ready to leave.
And you stay on your own with that, a raving maniac.
I'll be fine. I have this.
For God's sake, Arabella, you've never fired a gun in your life.
But I can, and I will if I have to. You pack us a bag, then fetch me, and I'll be ready.
If you're not...
I will be.
If you're not... I'll go myself. I mean it. I'll have nae more of this.
All right.
I mean it.
Go through, pack a bag, then we go together.
A madhouse, right enough. 3 maniacs, locked up and raving.
To set a man against his brother.
I'm listening.
Will you not sit down? Good.
You mentioned danger.
If my friend, enemy, false guide, lying mentor, if he gets to hear, he's the reason I was going south. England. Escape. Not angry tenants or the law. Him. Sometimes I'd look back and there he was. Dark, distant, following. Other times I didn't dare look back. I knew he was there, closer. Then to the east, or the west, on a hilltop, watching, mocking. But escape is still possible. It truly is. Miss Logan, I did not kill my brother. He did.
Your heathen, degenerate brother.
No religious disgust, no passion in it. Logic. He is above all rational. It was the first step towards clearing my way to the lairdship of Dalcastle. When I inherited wealth and power, he would share them. The girl, Maggie.
Semple.
Maggie Semple. Again, no irrational passion. The lies and slander she was spreading, she was a threat to my position, to our position. Her grave was found in that narrow little valley to the north of the estate.
Rudden Glen.
A stream runs down through there.
Dalcastle burns.
Follow it. Upstream.
The ground rises until you're faced with a cliff, not high, but the water falling there is, well, picturesque.
Aimlin.
Look behind the water. It's like a veil. Look behind it. You'll find a small cave. You'll find my mother's body.
Your mother? Oh, why?
I don't know. Maybe some kind of wild generosity to me. And, yes, amusement. He would have smiled at such an outlandish resting place for such a woman.
Robert, who else has met this man? Has anyone else laid eyes on him?
Many. Legions of them. I'm sure you've met him.
No.
Have you never lain in bed and felt yourself paralysed? You have. I'm sure that's his doing. He's close then. This must be a dream, but you know you're awake, paralysed. You want to sleep again. Dream the days when the old Laird of Dalcastle had love for you in his generous heart. Companion, housekeeper. You walked the rooms and halls and corridors of Dalcastle House with all the keys of that great place jingling at your waist. But now, here you are. No great halls anymore. The keys are all gone. I walk there now, and my mother, and the Reverend. And of course, you do want justice done. But more, you want revenge.
No, Robert!
I am as unhandy as you or your friend with one of these. But at this distance, how can I miss?
Don't!
This is over. This ends now.
Out of here. On the road. Get daft Arabella out. Now, something to eat. A bannock or two, maybe. A bit of cheese. Bella, the thing to do is don't look. Don't give a damn. You're a maddie Bella Calvert. Empty. Toothless. Mad right enough. Taking comfort in an empty teapot and talking to yourself. Arabella! Arabella! Heaven save us. You killed him.
He killed himself. Made himself a martyr. Suicide. It might condemn him, even him, a justified man, to hell. But destroying himself, he would destroy the other.
Killed himself.
Oh, yes, yeah. When he fell and the gun fell, I just bent forward and picked it up. I had no idea why I did that. I should have known better. A biblical scholar. When Jesus cast out the demon, the one who said, "My name is Legion, for we are many,"
Arabella.
he didn't destroy the demon or demons.
We can't talk about demons and with that lying there.
When he cast them out, they went elsewhere.
Into some pigs and the pigs were drowned. Dear God, how can we be...
Can a demon be drowned? They're such tricksters, changeable, clever as foxes. They go elsewhere, become other.
What?
Did I feel your fingers tighten on your gun? No. You wouldn't shoot your friend. She only betrayed you once.
Betrayed me?
And she did it in all innocence.
She? Who is she?
Arabella. She didn't tell her auntie. She didn't tell. Well, did she not to tell? She didn't have the words, but she did ask. She asked her auntie questions, little ones, timid, innocent, about the uncle in the slavey, her friend. The next year, summer wasn't lovely anymore. It was friendless. You were gone.
Arabella, listen. Leave all that. Leave it be. You were a daft wee lassie, and I wasn't much wiser myself. This has been a long, hard, uncanny night. And then it has to finish with you saying something hellish and bloody. But it is finished. The night's by. There's light growing. So here's what we do. We go through to your kitchen and we have tea, hot and strong. And we talk quietly for a while. Take our time. No hurry. And then we decide what we have to do.
Your Bible tells you what you have to do. Watch. Watch. For ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. Revelations chapter 16, verse 15.
Arabella.
Lo, I am with you always.
Please.
Matthew 28, verse 20. I am with you always, summer, winter, by day, by night. A night when you may wake in your bed, wake into paralysis and terror. Your own bed has become as binding as coffin and shroud. You cannot move a finger, a lip, an eyelash. Shift one foot, you may touch another, not your own, colder than your own. You dare not move, dare not turn your head to see another head on the pillow beside you. See those misty eyes, fox eyes, like gazing yellow shadow. See those brightly shining teeth. This